Greetings! Mandatory79 here, and welcome back to another deck profile video for Cardfight Vanguard Deer Days! Alright, let's get started. Pressing the A button now. Loading game and proceeding. Here we're on the main menu, going to edit deck menu. And now in today's video, the deck profile I'm going to be making one for is a Dragon Empire's Dragonic Overlord D-BT04. And for the base of the deck I'm gonna be using to build this deck with is this Dragon Empire's Dragonic Overlord D-BT03 deck. Alright, let's get into it. Going to edit deck. And here we are, and like I just mentioned before, the deck I'm building today's deck profile video is a Dragon Empire's Dragonic Overlord deck, made up of cards only available up until D-BT04, so... Okay, first let's go to filter settings, pack, show only cards available up until D-BT01, Genesis of the 5 Greats, D-BT02, A Brush of the Legends, D-BT03, Advance of the Intertwined Stars, D-BT04, Awakening of Chakrabarti, Festival Collection 2021, and Promo Pack. Apply filter. Alright, let's begin. First up, the Grade 3 lineup. For the Grade 3s this deck, we're playing the Ride deck, Grade 3, Dragonic Overlord, skills for skill, continuous as a Vanguard rear guard. During the battle, this unit attacked the rear guard. Your opponent cannot call cards from their hand to the Guardian Circle. Second skill, auto as a Vanguard, once per turn. When this unit attack hits, counterblast 1 and discard a card from your hand. If the cost him paid, stand this unit and it gets drive -1 until end of turn. So for Dragonic Overlord, it's the main Grade 3 to run this deck. Its skills, the first one, whenever your Vanguard or rear guard Dragonic Overlord targets an opponent's rear guard, they cannot guard that attack from cards from their hand. So for this first skill, it's more or less allows your Dragonic Overlord to have a almost guaranteed successful attack on an opponent's rear guard. And the second skill, whenever your Vanguard Overlord lands a successful attack on either your opponent's Vanguard or rear guard, by paying the cost of counterblast 1, discard 1, you can restand your Dragonic Overlord for another attack at the additional cost of -1 drive. So for this second skill, Dragonic Overlord's second skill is a good way to more or less increase the number of attacks you can make and also increase the chances of getting a trigger with the additional attack. And also this second skill can be comboed with the first skill. As I mentioned, the restand only works when a successful attack hits, which works well with the first skill, which guarantees you a successful attack on the opponent's rear guard. So as long as your opponent has a rear guard to target for an attack, this second skill for the restanding will always be a guarantee. Alright, so for Dragonic Overlord, we have 4 in the deck, putting 1 in the right deck. Okay, next up, the Grade 3, Penetrate Dragon Tribash, skill auto as a rear guard. When your Vanguard attacks, if your opponent has 2 or less rear guards, cost, put this into your soul. If the cost is paid, choose one of your Vanguards. It gets +1 critical until end of battle. So for Tribash, it's a pretty good support card for any Dragon Empire Nation decks, especially Overlord. For its skill, whenever your Vanguard attacks, as long as your opponent has 2 or less rear guards, as long as you don't mind giving up Tribash in your soul, your Vanguard's attack for that battle will get +1 critical, which means it'll be easier to not only pressure your opponent, but to also finish them off with the +1 critical. So for Tribash, we got 3 in the deck, keeping it that way. Next up, the Grade 3, Titleist Dragon Musashi Armor. We're not going to play this card anymore, taking it out and replacing it with, let's see, the Grade 3 Blitz Order, Wind of the Apocalypse, skill order. If your Vanguard is Dragonic Overlord, choose one of your units, it gets +2 20,000 power until the end of the battle. So for Wind of the Apocalypse, it's more or less a support card for the Dragonic Overlord deck. During your opponent's turn, when you play this order card, it can serve as more or less like a 20,000 point shield for your Vanguard Dragonic Overlord. So for Wind of the Apocalypse, we're playing 2 in the deck. Okay, next up, the Grade 2 lineup. For the Grade 2s in this deck, we're playing Ride deck, Grade 2, Dragonite the Harlem, skills for skill, auto. When this unit is ridden upon by a unit with Overlord in its card name, call to rearguard circle. Second skill, action as a rearguard once per turn. If you have a Vanguard with Overlord in its card name, cost Soul Blast 1. If the cost and paid, this unit and all of your Vanguards get plus 5,000 power until end of turn. So for Nehalem, he's the main Grade 2 to ride in his deck. Its skills, the first skill, Just by riding an Overlord on top of him, you'll be able to superior call Nehalem from your soul to the rear guard, thus guaranteeing you a Nehalem to attack with or to use its second skill with. And the second skill, as long as your Vanguard's Overlord, your rear guard Nehalem can pay a Soul Blast of 1, and then use its skill to give your Vanguard and itself plus 5,000 power. So overall, with this skill, it's not only possible to make your Nehalem a 15,000 point attacker for the front row, but your Overlord a bit stronger with the plus 5,000 power. And the best part is, this skill is pseudo-stackable, though it cannot be reused on its own. If you play multiple Nehalems in your deck, if you're able to draw and call multiple in your rear guard, as long as you don't mind paying a Soul Blast for all the multiple Nehalems in your rear guard, it's possible to use the skill to keep stacking powers to your Vanguard at least. So for Dragonic Nehalem, we have 4 in the deck, taking 3 out, leaving 1 the right deck. Next up, the Grade 2 Berserk Dragon, skill auto as a rear guard. When this unit attacks, if your Vanguard with Overlord is an Overlord then with its card name, this unit gets plus 5,000 power until the end of the battle. Then counterblast 1 if you cause him hate, choose one of your opponent's Grade 2 or less rear guards and retire it. So for Berserk Dragon, it's another support card for the Dragonic Overlord decks. Its skill, whenever it attacks while your Vanguard is Overlord, not only does it get plus 5,000 power, but with an additional counterblast of 1, you can retire an opponent's Grade 2 or less rear guards. So for Berserk Dragon, its skill makes it a possible 15,000 point attacker for your front row and a good card to wipe out your opponent's rear guards with. So for Berserk Dragon, we got 4 in the deck, leaving it that way. Next up, the Grade 2 Steel Bullet of Duststorm, Ethan. Its skill, auto as a rear guard. When your Vanguard attack hits, cost, retire this unit. If you cause him hate, draw a card and countercharge 1. So for Ethan, he's a pretty good card to play in your Dragon Empire Nation decks, especially Overlords. Its skill, whenever your Vanguard's attack hits on either an opponent's Vanguard or rear guard, as long as you don't mind retreating Ethan from your own rear guard, not only can you draw 1, you can also countercharge 1, thus securing you another counterblast to use for later skills. So overall, Ethan is more or less like a more powerful, superior version of the Great One. Dragon Monk Gojo. Seeing as how Gojo is more or less pretty limited in terms of skill activation and skill, since Gojo requires it can only use skill when boosting a successful attack from your Vanguard and only lets you countercharge 1, Ethan is a far superior card, given how its conditions to activate its skills are much more flexible. It merely states your Vanguard has to land a successful attack, so you can more or less retire Ethan's skill from any rear guard circle in your field and use its skill to not only countercharge 1, but to also stock up your hand with more cards. Alright, so for Ethan, we got 4 in the deck, leaving it that way. Next up, the Grade 2 Blast Artillery Dragon Brachial Force. We're not going to play this card anymore, taking 3 out and replacing it with... We're replacing it with the Grade 2 Flare Strike Dragon, skill auto as a... When this unit is placed on the rear guard circle, counterblast 1, if you cause him hate, choose one of your Vanguards, and it gets plus 10,000 power until end of turn. So for Flare Strike Dragon, it's a pretty good card to play in your Dragon Empire Nation decks, especially for the Dragonic Overlord series. For its skill, just by calling and counterblasting 1, your Vanguard gets plus 10,000 power until end of turn. So more or less, this skill is a good way to use on your Vanguard Dragonic Overlord, which specializes in restatting and attacking multiple times to the Vanguard. So the extra 10,000 power from Flare Strike skill will really help out to not only pressure, but to also potentially finish off your opponents. So for Flare Strike Dragon, we're playing 4 in the deck, okay? And now for the Great 1 lineup. For the Great 1s to this deck, we're playing Ride Deck, Great 1, Embodiment of Armor Bar. The skills are, for skill, auto. When this unit is ridden upon by Dragonic Nehalem, counterblast 1. If you cause him hate, search your deck for up to 1 Great 1 card, reveal it and put it into your hand, and shuffle your deck. Second skill, auto as a rear guard, once per turn. When your Vanguard's attack hits, this unit gets plus 5,000 power until end of turn. So for Bar, it's the main Great 1 to ride this deck. It's for skill. When you ride Dragonic Nehalem on top of him, by paying a mere counterblast of 1, you'll be able to check your deck for any specific Great 1 you should search your deck for and add to your hand. So ideally, Bar is a good way to not only secure a perfect guard to defend with, but to also add any specific Great 1 to use in your later game strategy. And the second skill, whenever your Vanguard's attack hits, either on the opponent's Vanguard or rear guard, Bar will get plus power. So ideally, with this second skill, Bar can serve as a 13,000 point attacker for the front row and a 13,000 point booster from the back row. So for bar, we got 1 the right deck, leaving it that way. Next up, the Great One, Twin Buckler Dragon, Sentinel, Perfect Guard. Its skills are, first skill, Continuous, Sentinel, second skill, Auto. When this unit is put in the Guardian Circle, choose one of your units and it cannot be hit until the end of the battle. If your hand has 2 or more cards, choose a card from your hand, discard it. So for Twin Buckler Dragon, he's a perfect guard for the Dragon Empire Nation. Like any other perfect guard in the Cardfight Vanguard trading card game, he features the same skill and activation. When used to guard with and discarding a card from your hand, you can completely block one enemy attack. But he also features an ability unique to all D standard format perfect guards. When used to guard with while you have less than 2 cards in hand, you will not have to pay the usual discard 1 cost, making Twin Buckler a no-cost perfect guard in desperate last resort situations. So for Twin Buckler, we got 4 in the deck, keeping it that way. Next up, the Great One, Twin Strike of Duststorm Orlando. We're not going to play this card anymore, taking it out and replacing it with, let's see. We're playing next what to use in the deck next. Let's see. What would be a good choice? Okay, then. Here it is, the Great One, Stealth Dragon, Togashirashi. Its skill, Auto. When this card is discarded from hand during your turn, you may put this card into your soul. So for Togashirashi, it's a pretty good card to play in your Dragon Empire Nation decks. Though not a powerful rear guard or vanguard to attack with, Togashirashi's skill is more or less a support type skill. Just by discarding it from your hand for either a skill cost or a more or less like a ride deck cost, instead of going to the drop zone, Togashirashi goes to your soul instead, thus securing you more cards to Soul Blast with later on. So Togashirashi also works well with Dragonic Overlord, whose skill requires you to discard cards from your hand to activate its restand skill. If you're fortunate to have a Togashirashi in your hand by that time and discarding it for the cost, you will more or less have a Soul Blast ready, and also to more or less reduce the cost, seeing as how Togashirashi is being moved from the soul instead of the drop zone. So for Togashirashi, we're playing 4 in the deck. Okay, next up, the Great One, Ephestio Dragon, skill, Auto as a rear guard. At the end of the battle, this unit boosts the Vanguard. If the boosted unit is restood, Soul Blast 2. If you cost him hate, choose one of your opponent's front row rear guards, retire it, choose one of your Vanguards, it gives plus 5,000 power until end of turn. So Ephestio Dragon, it's a pretty decent card to play in your Dragon Empire Nation decks that focus on restanding the Vanguard, specifically Dragonic Overlord. Its skill, after boosting, if the boosted unit, specifically the Vanguard, restands, by paying a cost of Soul Blast 2, not only can you wipe out one of your opponent's front row rear guards, but to also give your Vanguard plus 5,000 power. So Ephestio is a good way to not only clear your opponent's rear guards, but to make your Vanguard's next attack much more successful. So for Ephestio Dragon, we're playing 2 in the deck, okay? And next up, the Great Zero lineup. For the Great Zeros this deck, we're playing right deck, Great Zero, Lizard Runner Undo, skill, Auto. When this unit is ridden upon, if you went second, draw a card. So for Undo, he's the starting unit of this deck. His skill just by riding on top of him. If you're the second to go, draw a card. So for Undo, we got 1 the right deck, leaving it that way. And next up, the trigger lineup. For the triggers of this deck, we're playing the Great Zero, Conduct Spark Dragon, critical trigger. We've got 3, putting 1 in, we're playing 4. Next, the Great Zero, Burning Flail Dragon, critical trigger, skill, Auto as a rear guard. At the end of the battle, this unit boosted, cost, put it into your soul. If the cost been hate, choose one of your units, it gets plus 2,000 power until end of turn. So for Burning Flail Dragon, he's a powerful critical trigger to play in your Dragon Empire Nation decks. For his skill, after boosting an attack, regardless if it hits or not, as long as you don't mind giving up Burning Flail from your rear guard into your soul, you'll be able to give a unit on your field, either your Vanguard or rear guard, plus 2,000 power. So for Burning Flail, it's a good way to not only restock your soul for more Soul Blast, but to also give your remaining attackers a little extra power to work with. So for Burning Flail, we got 4 in the deck, leaving it that way. Next up, the Great Zero, Rushing Dragon, Steel Dialpo, draw trigger. Not going to play this anymore, taking it out and replacing it with the Great Zero, Flare Veil Dragon, draw trigger, skill, continuous as a guardian. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, this unit gets plus 5,000 shield. So for Flare Veil Dragon, it's a pretty powerful draw trigger to play in your Dragon Empire Nation decks. Its skill, when used to guard with, if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, it gets plus 5,000 shield, making Flare Veil Dragon a 10,000 point shield all on its own. So for Flare Veil, we're playing 3 in the deck. Okay, next up. The Grade 0, Blaze Minerona, Heal Trigger. We're playing 4 in the deck. Okay, leaving it that way. And finally, the Grade 0, Dragon DD King of Resurgence, Drag Beta, Over Trigger, Skill, Trigger, Additional Effect. Choose one of your Vanguards and restand it. So for Drag Beta, he's the Over Trigger for the Dragon Empire Nation. Like any other Over Trigger in the Cardfight Vanguard trading card game, it features the same skill and activation. When revealed during a drive check or damage check, you get 100 million power and draw a card, but he also features an ability unique to himself. When revealed during a drive check in your turn, you can restand your Vanguard. So for this skill, it's a more or less very powerful skill to be used in any Dragon Empire Nation deck, especially Dragonic Overlords. When revealed during your drive check, your Vanguard can restand for another attack, thus increasing the chances of finishing off your opponent with a powerful attack, or to get more triggers or more cards in your hand to use later on. So for Drag Beta, we got 1 in the deck, leaving it that way. And with that, the deck has been built. Card effects explained, so let's save the deck. Override deck being built, yes. Here we are, and for the cards in this deck, we're playing 3, Grade 3, Penetrate Dragon Trivash, 4, Grade 3, Dragonic Overlord, 2, Grade 3, Wind of the Apocalypse, 1, Grade 2, Dragonite the Harlem, 4, Grade 2, Berserk Dragon, 4, Grade 2, Steel Bullet of Duststorm, Ethan, 4, Grade 2, Flare Strike Dragon, 4, Grade 1, Twin Buckler Dragon, 4, Grade 1, Stealth Dragon, Togachirashi, 1, Grade 1, Embodiment of Armor Bar, 2, Grade 1, Ephestio Dragon, and 1, Grade 0, Lizard Runner Undo, start a unit. And for the triggers in this deck, we're playing 8 critical triggers, 3 draw triggers, 4 heal triggers, and finally 1 over trigger, Drag Beta. Alright, so the deck has been built, card effects explained. Now let's get on to testing out the deck. So leaving the deck menu, returning to main menu, going to fight menu and CPU fight, choosing the deck I just built, the Dragonic Overlord deck D-BT04, selecting deck, and now choosing the opponent. Let's see who would be a good choice to test this deck out on. Okay, who would be a good choice? Okay, then I'm using it on, I guess, Haru Shinagawa, normal difficulty. Alright, the battle begins. Let's get started. And here we are. We're gonna decide who goes first. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Scissors to scissors, one more time. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Scissors to rock, I lose, going second. Alright. Drawing our starting hands. Okay, I got a perfect guard. Trivash, a critical trigger. Wind of the Apocalypse, and Ethan. Alright, let's see. I should definitely hold on to the Twin Buckler. And let's see, I guess I can hold on to Ethan for counter-charging later on, so I guess I'll return the critical trigger and the Blitz Order, Wind of the Apocalypse. I'll hold on to Trivash, redraw. 2 Togachirashis, not bad. Okay, my opponent's turn, she rides the Great One, the Algra. Okay, now it's my turn, I draw. Alright, I'm gonna ride from my right deck, Embodiment of Armor Bar. For the right deck cost, I'm gonna discard Togachirashi. Obviously, since its skill will let me move it to the soul, so discarding 1 Togachirashi to right bar. Togachirashi's skill, moving it from the drop zone to the soul. Undo skill, I draw a card. Draw. Not bad. Alright, going to battle phase. My Vanguard attacks the Vanguard, 8k. The attack goes through, drive check. Yes, draw trigger, not bad. I draw a card. I drew another Ethan, okay. And alright, slash, damage check, no trigger. And that's the end of my turn, my opponent's turn. She's going to ride the Grade 2, Diagra. Skill of her Grade 1, she reveals Bedivere. And Superior calls in Rest, okay. She calls a Grade 2 Angel, and another Angel, and Fasciata, okay. Tough choice. Okay, I definitely should not take too much. I should not let myself take too much damage, so I guess I'll first discard. Guard the first attack of a draw trigger, Flare Veil Dragon, 5000 shield. Guard. I gotta hold on to the rest of my hand. Okay, attack blocked. Now here comes an attack from the Vanguard. I need some counter blast, so no guard, let the attack go through. She drive checks A. Ah, no, not a heal trigger. She heals 1 damage. And powers the rear guard. Oh, come on. Now she's back to 0 damage. Damage check. Yeah, critical trigger. I give all effects to my Vanguard. There we go. Effects added. My opponent attacks me with 28,000 power. I'm at 18,000. Okay. My opponent's at 0 damage, so I cannot let myself get too much damage. So I'll discard a 15,000 point shield to block the attack. The critical trigger is the only one I have. Guard, Burning Veil Dragon, 33,000 power in total. Attack blocked. There we go. Alright. Skill Painkiller, she draws a card. Alright. Now it's my turn. I stand and draw. Alright, I'm gonna ride from my right deck, Dragonic Overlord. For the right deck cost, obviously I'm gonna discard Togachirashi, use its skill later on. Discarding Togachirashi, ride Nehalem. Togachirashi's skill from the drop zone into the soul. Bar skill, counterblast 1. I search my deck for a great one. I already have a perfect guard in hand, so I'll add to my hand Hephaestio Dragon. Add to hand. There we go. Next up, I'm calling Ethan to the rear guard. Call. And calling Hephaestio to the rear guard. Call. That should do it. And calling one more Ethan just to be safe. Yep, calling. Alright. To the front row. Okay, that should do it. Go into battle phase. My rear guard Ethan on the left side attacks the rear guard Fasciata. 1 rear guard down. There we go. And now boosted by Hephaestio, my Vanguard attacks the Vanguard. 18,000 power. The attack goes through. I drive check. Yeah, critical trigger, just what I needed. I give the critical to my Vanguard. Power to Ethan on the right. Effects added. And now 2 damage on the way. Pierce. Damage check first. No trigger, safe. Painkiller Angel. And second check. Ah, no, not a heal trigger. She can heal again. Ah, what rotten luck. Oh well, I'm activating the skill of the left side Ethan. Self-retreat. And draw a card and counter charge. I draw a perfect guard. Nice. Not gonna activate the other Ethan skill. My right side Ethan attacks the rear guard. Drilling Angel, 19,000 power. Yes, the attack goes through. Another rear guard down. That's the end of my turn. My opponent's turn, she rides the Grade 3. One who walks the path of light, Diagra. Skill of her Grade 2, she's revealing her another Diagra. At the hand, okay, she can Persona right next turn. Skill of her Vanguard, she Superior calls Fasciata. She moves Bedivere to the front. Bedivere attacks the Vanguard. Tough choice. I should just let the Vanguard attack hit, so I'll have to block the rear guard attack. I guard with a critical trigger. It's my only choice. Guard. And alright, the rear guard attack is blocked. Alright, and now here comes the Vanguard attack. 21,000 power. Gonna let the attack go through. No guard. Here it comes. Twin drive. First check. No trigger, order card, and second check. Ah, critical trigger, come on! She gives all effects to her Vanguard, so 2 damage is on the way. Skill of Fasciata, she soul charges and soul blast and counter charge, okay? Her Vanguard lands 2 damage, here it comes. Ow! Damage check first, no trigger, and second check, come on. Ah, critical trigger, wasted a trigger. All effects to Vanguard, I guess. Effects wasted. Alright, so that's the end of my opponent's turn. It's my turn, I stand and draw. Alright. I'm going to ride to my right deck, Dragonic Overlord. Let's see. This is a tough choice. Okay. I definitely have to hold on to the perfect guards, as well as Overlord to Persona right with, so my options to discard either Tribash, Wind of Apocalypse, and the heal trigger. Okay. I guess I'll hold on to Tribash to add the critical, and then Wind of Apocalypse counts a 20,000 point shield, so I'll just discard the 50,000 point shield, heal trigger, Rona, discard, riding Dragonic Overlord. Nehalem skill, Superior Call from the soul to the rear guard. Superior Call, let's see. I guess I'll call it here. There we go. I switch places with Ethan. Nehalem skill, Soul Blasting 1, adding power to himself and Overlord. There we go. Power added, and now I call Penetrate Dragon Tribash in the rear guard. That should be enough. Now going to battle phase. My rear guard Overlord unboosted attacks Bedivere. Skill cannot be guarded. Not gonna activate Tribash's skill. Here it comes. Twin Drive, first check. No trigger, perfect guard. Nice. And second check. Perfect guard. Not bad, I guess. Alright. I activate Overlord skill. I counterblast 1. Tough choice. I should hold on to my perfect guards and Persona Ride, so discard an extra copy of Twin Buckler or Wind of the Apocalypse. Tough choice. I guess I'll discard 1 perfect guard, hold on to a 20,000 point shield and 3 perfect guards. Discard. Here it comes. I restand Overlord. And Ethan's skill, self-retreat. Counter charge 1 and draw. I draw an Overlord, not bad. Alright, here comes Tribash with 13,000 power to the Vanguard. The attack goes through, nice. Pierce, damage check, no trigger, alright. Now Nehalem attacks the Vanguard, 15,000 power. The attack goes through, nice. Pierce, damage check, no trigger, perfect guard, safe. 1 less card to guard with. Now boosted by Festio. Overlord attacks the Vanguard, 26,000 power. I activate Tribash's skill into the soul. +1 critical to the Vanguard. And she double guards. 43, over trigger the paths. Drive check. No trigger. The attack does not go through, so blocked. Alright, it's the end of my turn. My opponent's turn. She Persona Rides. No, Dark Diagra. Calling a grade 3 Getos, okay, adding power. She plays an order and adding power, alright. Calling Bedivere, skill of Bedivere, Superior Call. K to the rear guard, alright, not good for me. Alright, retiring 2 rear guards, retiring 1 of mine. And now here comes the battle. Bedivere attacks the Vanguard, okay. Her Vanguard won't be able to restand, so I'm going to guard. Not gonna let the attack go through. No guard. Ow! Damage check. Yeah! Heal trigger, just what I needed. I heal 1 damage, power the Vanguard. And now my opponent's Vanguard attacks the Vanguard. I'm going to perfect guard the Twin Buckler Dragon. Skill. Let's see, for the discard cost, I should hold on the Berserk to attack with, and Overlord to Persona right with, so... I guess I'll discard the Order card, Wind of the Apocalypse, gotta hold on to the Perfect Guards, discard Wind of the Apocalypse, and guard. She Twin Drives, first check, no trigger, Sterilized Angel, and second check, no trigger. Ah, she can Persona right next turn, not good. Attack blocked. Now an attack from the rear guard. Tough choice. Should I guard or not guard? I guess I shouldn't risk it. Gotta hold on to Perfect Guard, so I'll just guard with Berserk Dragon with a 5,000 point shield. Guard. Alright. And now it's the end of my opponent's turn. My turn, stand and draw. Yes, Berserk Dragon. Just what I needed. I Persona Ride Dragonic Overlord. Persona Ride, add power and draw a card. Yes, Flare Strike Dragon. Alright. I call Berserk Dragon to the rear guard. And I call Flare Strike Dragon to the rear guard. Flare Strike skill, Counterblast 1, plus 10,000 power to my Vanguard. That should do it. And now, go into the battle phase. First up, Overlord boosted by Festio attacks the rear guard Bedivere. The attack cannot be blocked. Alright, Twin Drive for check. Yes! Critical trigger, just what I needed. I give critical to my Vanguard, power to Berserk Dragon. And here comes my second check. No trigger, Overlord, not bad. Alright, the attack goes through, Overlord skill, Counterblast 1, I'll discard. I should hold on the Perfect Guards and the critical to guard with. So I got 2 Overlords, 1 to Persona right with, so I'll just discard the extra copy of Overlord, discarding 1 Overlord to restand my Vanguard Overlord. A Festio skill! Soul Blasting 2 cards, 1 and 2. I retire an opponent's front row rear guard, and give plus 5,000 power to my Vanguard. There we go. Now, Flare Strike Dragon attacks the Vanguard, 20,000. Yes, the attack goes through. Slash. Damage check. Ah, no, not a critical trigger. Effects added, okay. Overlord attacks the Vanguard, 38,000 power. She Perfect Guards, okay. She discards. A draw trigger, okay. Twin Drive check. Yes, critical trigger, nice. I give all effects to Berserk Dragon. There we go, effects added. And now, Berserk Dragon attacks the Vanguard. Skill plus 5,000 power. 45,000 power, 2 criticals to the Vanguard. Not gonna activate the skill. Ah, no, not another Perfect Guard. She discards a Painkiller Angel, okay. Attack blocked. That should do it, so that's the end of my turn, my opponent's turn. My opponent's gonna Persona Ride. Here it comes. Light Diagra, okay. Diagra's skill, she's going to Superior Call. 2 Great 2s, Nanaful, okay. Calling both the front row. The rear guard attacks the Vanguard. Okay, I should block the Vanguard with Perfect Guard, so I'll let the rear guard attack go through. No guard, take the hit. Here it comes. Ow! Damage check. No trigger, okay. An attack from the rear guard. One more time, let it hit. No guard. Here it comes. Ow! Damage check. Over trigger, yes! I give all effects to my Vanguard. My opponent attacks the rear guard. Okay, the fact she's attacking the rear guard means one of the cards in her hand must be the over trigger. Alright, I Perfect Guard. I gotta hold on to one of my rear guards. Perfect Guard. For the Perfect Guard cost, I'm discarding... I'll discard one of my critical triggers. Hold on to Burning Flail and everything else. Perfect Guard. Twin Drive for check. Yes, critical trigger. She wasted a trigger. Effects wasted. Skill of Nanaful. She soul charges and draws. Again, soul charge and draw. Second check. No trigger. Okay. And now the attack is blocked, so now it's my turn. I'm gonna stand and draw. Berserk Dragon, okay. I Persona Ride Dragonic Overlord. Persona Ride and draw a card. Yes, Ethan. Alright, I move Flare Strike to the back row. I call Berserk Dragon to the front. And I call one more Ethan to the back row. That should be enough. Going to battle phase. First up, boosted by Hephaestio, Overlord attacks the left side Nanofold. Skill cannot be blocked with hand cards, so yes, the attack goes through. Twin Drive, first check. Flare Strike Dragon, no trigger. And second check. Okay, Togashirashi, no trigger, attack that hits. Overlord skill, I counterblast one, discard a card from her hand. I discard Togashirashi to activate its skill. Overlord restands, and Togashirashi goes into the soul. Ethan's skill, self-retreat. And countercharge one. I drew a Tribash, not that. Hephaestio's skill, I Soul Blast 2 cards. Retire my opponent's remaining rear guard and add power to my Vanguard. There we go. Alright, and now Berserk Dragon in the right attacks the Vanguard. Skill plus 5,000 power. 25,000 power to the Vanguard. Not gonna activate its skill. Yet the attack goes through and blast. Damage check. No, not a critical trigger. Come on. She adds the effects to her Vanguard. Okay. And now my Vanguard attacks the Vanguard. 28k. She double guards. 43k. Drive check. Yes, critical trigger. Just what I needed. I give all effects to Berserk Dragon on the left. Effects added. And now Berserk Dragon on the left attacks the Vanguard. Skill plus 5,000 power. 35,000, 2 criticals to the Vanguard. Not gonna activate the counterblast. Perfect guard. Interesting. She discards. Fasciata, okay. So, attack blocked. One less perfect guard to worry about, so that's the end of my turn. My opponent's turn. She's going to call it another Persona Ride. She's Persona Riding Dark Viagra. Okay. She calls a rear guard. Okay. And calling another Angel. Okay. Viagra skill. She retires her rear guards and retires my left column. Okay. Viagra attacks the Vanguard. I double guard with a heal and a... No, hold on. Let's see. My opponent can restand once, so... Assuming the last card in their hand is an over trigger, I might be safe, so I better just guard the 2 cards in my hand. No, wait, I guess I'll just perfect guard. Perfect guard. For the perfect guard cost, I'm gonna discard. Penetrate Dragon Tribatch. Hold on the other cards to guard with. She twin drives. No, not a teal trigger, come on! And second check. No trigger, grade 3, alright. And my attack is blocked. Okay. My opponent's skill now, she's gonna discard. And restands, one more attack. I guard with 58,000 power, 2 to pass. No trigger, order card, alright. Attack blocked. And now, it's my turn, I stand and draw. Okay. I'm not gonna ride, go in the main phase. I call Flare Strike Dragon to the rear guard. Flare Strike skill, counterblast 1. Adding power to my Vanguard. Okay. And now, moving Flare Strike to the back, I call Tribash to the rear guard. Going to battle phase, boosted by Hephaestio. Overlord attacks the Vanguard. 31,000 power, not gonna activate Tribash's skill. Yes, the over trigger, called it. Twin drive, first check. Draw trigger, yes. I give all effects to Tribash and I draw a card. Second check, come on. Yes! Critical trigger, just what I needed. I give all effects to Tribash. Alright, effects added, attack blocked. Now, Tribash attacks the Vanguard. 33,000 power, 2 criticals. Yes, the attack goes through. Pierce. Damage check first. Draw trigger, oh no. She adds power and draw. Now the final check, come on, nothing. Ah, come on, a heal trigger, seriously? Of all the cards to get. End of turn. Alright, my opponent's turn. Yes, deck out. I win. That was close. If my opponent hadn't decked out, I would have lost for sure, but overall, it was a pretty good match. I managed to use my new cards effectively, so... Alright. So I got win, double trigger, attack 40,000 more power, perfect guard 3 more times, opponent heal at 6 damage, drew an over trigger, did a persona right, 12 turns passed, did a superior call, retired 5 or more opposing units, drew 3 or more times in 1 turn. I got 3250 VP, total 13,350 VP, press edit go next, leaving the fight, returning to fight menu. Okay, here we are, leaving the fight menu, going back to main menu, and going to edit deck menu, and with that, the deck has been built, card packs explained, and I just finished testing out the deck in front of you. So overall with that, that's about all the time we have for today. So first off, I want to say thank you to the viewers for watching today's video, and to please stay tuned for more videos I plan to upload again in the near future. I also hope you all show support by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing to my videos and channel. And with that, I say goodbye and see you.